Now before going towards the next example, we are going to consider one subspace which we have not studied before. So this example of a subspace is really important and we are going to come across it many times. So let us see that example and then we will see the rest of the examples on linear combination. So over here we have to show that this Pn of x is a subspace of R of x. Now let us recall what exactly R of x is, because we have already seen this set before. So R of x is actually nothing but what? It is a collection of polynomials having real coefficients and in the variable x. Note what I am saying, R of x is nothing but what I will write here if you want. So R of x is collection of polynomials with real coefficients. Now what is Pn of x? Pn of x is also a collection of polynomials, but there is a restriction on the degree, that is it is containing polynomials having degree less equal n. Okay, I mean polynomials of degree n will be present in Pn of x. Polynomials of degree n minus 1 will be also present, because they are saying less as well, less including n means polynomial of degree n will be there, n minus 1, n minus 2 and so on, but definitely polynomial of degree n plus 1 will not be there in Pn of x. So there is a condition on the degree in the set Pn of x, but in R of x there is no such condition. So R of x can contain polynomial of any degree. Let me immediately explain you by taking a simple example. So here I will write, now what is P2 of x? So indirectly I am putting my value of En to be 2. So my P2 of x will be a0 plus a1x plus a2x square, such that this ai belongs to R. So this P2 of x is going to contain polynomials having degree less equal to. So P2 of x will contain polynomials of degree 0, means constant polynomials. It will also contain polynomials of degree 1, that is linear polynomials, means polynomial of the form a0 plus a1x, and as well as degree 2 polynomials will also be there. Now talking about P3 of x, it will be slightly different. So it will be a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus a3x cube, such that this ai belongs to R. Now P3 of x is going to contain polynomials of degree 0, 1, 2 and 3. So this P3 of x is not going to contain polynomials of degree 4, I mean x raised to 4. Okay, such polynomials will not be there in P3 of x. Now similarly talking about P2 of x, polynomials of the type x cube, means x cube plus 2x plus 1 will not be there in P2 of x, because it will contain polynomials of degree at most 2. P3 of x will contain polynomials of degree at most 3. But one thing is sure, that this P2 of x will be a subset of P3 of x, right? Because P3 of x contains polynomials of degree 0, 1, 2 and 3. P2 of x contains polynomials of degree 0, 1 and 2. So every polynomial of P2 will be there in P3. So no issue at all, but the converse is not true. So every polynomial of P3 may not be in P2, for example x cube. So I hope now you got the meaning of what is Pn of x. Now let us try to show that this Pn of x is a subspace of R of x. So we should recall the definition of subspace then. In fact the subspace criteria. So what it is saying, a non-empty subset W of V is said to be a subspace of V if W is closed under addition and scalar multiplication. Now in this case, this is our set W. So first of all we need to show that it is non-empty. So how one can show that this Pn of x is non-empty? Now try to see the elements of Pn of x. So what is the speciality? So element of Pn of x, how does it look? It is a polynomial definitely, but it is of the type a0 plus a1x plus so on an x raised to n, where these coefficients, I mean this ai, are real numbers. So if I am able to write my 0 polynomial in this form, then I can say that 0 belongs to Pn of x and thus it is non-empty, and we can easily do it. How? As you can write this 0 as 0 plus 0x plus so on 0x raised to n. No issues, right? You can see that we have written 0 in this form. Okay, so therefore I can say that 0 belongs to Pn of x and therefore Pn of x is non-empty. So no issues for the subset. I will say clearly this Pn of x is a subset of R of x. Now we need to show the two conditions of addition and scalar multiplication. First of all, addition. So we will need two polynomials of Pn of x. I will call them as f of x and g of x. So I will say A, let f of x is equal to, okay, so I have started with two elements and we have to show that f of x plus g of x belongs to Pn of x. Believe me, proof is very simple. So I leave it to you. Similarly, the B part can be also proved. Just you have to take one scalar alpha and one polynomial from Pn of x. You can use the same notation and just try to show that alpha multiplied by f also lies in Pn of x. So this Pn of x is a subspace of R of x. Now remember, subspace means a vector space only. So indirectly you can say that this Pn of x is a vector space over R. Now we will move towards the next example. Yeah. Now before moving towards the next example, one more thing I would like to clear. Now see, sometimes over here you can see the variable used is x, but sometimes the variable t is also used, means Pn of x is sometimes denoted as Pn of t. There is no difference, only the polynomial whatever we are denoting that will be denoted in terms of the variable t, as we can see in this example. Okay, so over here we have to express this v as a linear combination of v1, v2 and v3, but here we can see that whatever polynomials are given, these are given in the variable t, and you can see at most the degree of the polynomial is 2. So we can say that the vector space over here is P2 of t. Is that fine? So now we have to start with our usual statement. So I will say let v is equal to alpha 1 v1 plus alpha 2 v2 plus alpha 3 v3 with this alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3 as some real numbers. So we will call it as star. So our job is to find the values of alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3. Once we do that, then we can say that we have expressed v as a linear combination of v1, v2 and v3. So let us substitute the values. Yeah, now after substituting the values, this is what we get. So we can simplify it further. Alpha 1, yeah. Now this is an important step. Now just note how is the polynomial on the left hand side written. First of all, constant term is written, then the term of t and then the term of t square. So the similar adjustment we have to do on the right hand side also. So first of all we will write the constant term, I mean the term in which t is absent. So such terms are 1, 2 and 3 present. So we will just combine them in one bracket. So this is an important step here. Once you understand this, then the rest of the things are similar. Then what about the terms of t? There is only one term, that is alpha 2t, and terms of t square, again one term, that is alpha 3 t square, and our left hand side is 1 plus 2t plus 4t square. So again similar thing as we have done in the last problem. So simply compare the left hand side and right hand side. So after comparing it, what we will get? Now what do you mean by comparing? I mean on the left hand side you are having a polynomial, on the right hand side also we are having a polynomial. So when these two polynomials will be equal? This will be equal if the constant terms are same, okay, means alpha 1 plus alpha 2 plus alpha 3 should be 1, right? Because on the left hand side the constant term is 1 and on the right hand side this is our constant term. Next, the coefficients of t should be also equal. So over here the coefficient of t is alpha 2. So alpha 2 will be equal to 2 directly, as on the left hand side the coefficient of t is 2. Similarly on the right hand side the coefficient of t square is alpha 3. So alpha 3 will be equal to directly 4. So we got the values of alpha 3, alpha 2. Now we have to find the value of alpha 1. So you know, as usual, use the values of alpha 2 and alpha 3 in 1. And one can easily see that value of alpha 1 will be 1 minus 6, and that is nothing but minus 5. Now what is our last step? Our last step is simply to put the values of alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3 in star. So I will say put in star, which will finish our solution, right? So on the left hand side what we are having, 1 plus 2t plus 4t square, which is equal to value of alpha 1 is minus 5. So minus 5 plus value of alpha 2 is 2. So it will be twice 1 plus t, and it will be plus 4 times 1 plus t square. Thus we have expressed this 1 plus 2t plus 4t square as a linear combination of 1 plus t and 1 plus t square, and that is what we wanted to do. In fact, you can verify your answer as well, which is easy to do in this case. Now we will move towards the next example. Now this is an example of I believe it is fourth example. So this is an example of M2 of R. As you can see, our vector space is nothing but M2 of R in this case. Now again our beginning will be same, since we have to express V as a linear combination of V1, V2, V3 and V4. So what I will start with, I will say let V is equal to what? Alpha 1 V1 plus alpha 2 V2 plus alpha 3 V3 plus alpha 4 V4, and I will call this as star. Now let us put the values of vectors. Therefore this 1, 2, 3, 4 will be equal to, now by doing certain calculation, put alpha 1 inside, so it will be alpha 1 0 0 plus this will be alpha 2 0 0. Now simply we have to add the 4 matrices on the right hand side. So this will be therefore or you can say directly this is equal to so alpha 1 plus alpha 2, so alpha 1 plus alpha 2 plus alpha 3 plus 0, so it will be alpha 1 plus alpha 2 plus alpha 3. Similarly 0 plus alpha 2 plus 0 plus 0, that will be alpha 2 only, and similarly here I will have alpha 3 and 2 alpha 4, but note on the left hand side we are having 1 2 3 4. Now simply comparing, again we know that two matrices are equal if the corresponding entries of the matrices are equal. So therefore here, and this implies value of alpha 4 is 2. Now simply put the values of this alpha 2 and alpha 3 in the first equation to get alpha 1. So therefore I hope it is going to be, thus we have expressed 1 2 3 4 as a linear combination of 1 0 0 0, 1 1 0 0, 1 0 1 0 and 0 0 0 2. If you want, you can verify your answer. So that concludes the problems on linear combination. So we'll stop here. Thank you. Have a good day.